everybody, welcome or welcome back to the channel. My name's Nicole and this is Darvanalee Design Studio, and today we're here for a stitch with me and we're working on Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, so let's get started. Good morning or good evening everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for taking some time out of your day and spending it with me while I do a little bit of stitching with you. We are here for DDs Spooktober. This is the project that I spun up. If you've seen the videos in the last couple of days, you already know that this has spun up. This is called Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. It is by Carriage House Samplings. I started this a couple of years ago, put a few stitches into it and pretty much set it aside, and it has been on my Halloween wheel, and I spin the wheel and work out what I'm going to be working on. So right now I started in the center, which is unusual for me. If you've been around for a while, you know that I don't usually start up in this top corner here, but this one I actually started in the center because if I have to say, out of all these blocks on here, these two here are my favorites. So I wanted to start with the witches, and yeah, so I started with the cauldron and I've worked my way over. As I said, I don't have a lot done in this at the moment, and I do have threads hanging out everywhere because I still have to weave them and stuff like that. But today we're going to be working with two colours, and the colours that we're working with are 310 in CXC or DMC because I have used both. And also I'm using CXC throughout this chart, and 721. So the section that I'll be working on is the bottom part of her dress and her apron. So this is, I'm just here at the moment and I'm going to be working my way up. So that is what it's going to look like when it's finished. You know, like, I'm not in any hurry to finish this. I'm just going to plod along on it, and my goal right now is to be actually doing half an hour each morning. Now, the first week of October has not gone to plan for me. Well, it has gone to plan somewhat. I've just been getting ready for everything and filming and all that sort of stuff across my platform. So I have done a lot of setup in the first week, and so this weekend, and the date of recording this is the 7th of October, I am planning on by Sunday to have 4 hours put into this. I do have to go down to Brisbane today because it is Savannah. Well, it was Savannah's birthday on the 6th, and we've got reservations at a restaurant just around the corner from her house, and we are going to go and spend the afternoon and evening with her. And so she's pretty excited because she's wanted to go to this restaurant for a while. So it just turned out that we were going to go last month, but it turned out that we couldn't get in, and so it turned out that the only reservation we could get for October was today, and it just happened to coincide with her birthday. So I have my morning coffee, and that is the first sip of coffee that I've taken. I've got my magnifiers, I've got my threads and everything that I need to work along with this. I've got my little scissors and my needle threader, because I will say that and it's very Halloween. Let me just get the magnet for it. It's got a little magnet on the back, but it's a little skeleton. I got it, to be honest, I cannot even remember where I got this from, but it is a great little, needle minder, and it's got a magnet on it, so whatever needle minder I've got, I can just sort of sit it on wherever there's a magnet and it'll just hang out. Let me just show you my needle minders that I do have on. I'm in a different position today because I can't get to where I normally sit. I've got a few things stuck there that I'm working on. I've got a couple of little needle minders that I've picked up over time and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it just sort of hangs out. It'll sit on there and then I won't lose it. So yeah, so basically that's what I'm going to do. And as I said, I'm just going to work on this. Let me just get this up a little bit higher, do a little bit of adjusting. It's been a hot minute since I've done any stitching on this, so excuse me. So yeah, so basically I just thought, you know what, I'll do a stitch with me. I haven't done one in a while, and get some stitches into this. So as I said, I just started coming over towards the witch, and I'm just working out where I've got to go, and hopefully you can't see that in picture there. So yeah, and it's been a hot minute since I've done a stitch with me, but I haven't really been doing any stitching as such, and yeah, so Um, all right, so as I said, I plan on working on this about half an hour a day. I figured I'll just work on it in the mornings. I get up early. The weather is warming up, so I'm getting up earlier than I normally do. The sun hasn't even really, it's only just come over my neighbour's house, so it's pretty early. I think it's like 6:30 in the morning right now. So yeah, so I figured that I would get up and do a little bit of a stitch with me and do a bit of this every morning. And as I was saying, the first week I've done a lot of prep for the month. So for those that don't know, I now have a Patreon as well, so I have extra filming videos that I do over there. So right now we have a block of the month happening over there. We've got bag tutorials, we've got macrame tutorials starting up. We've got a lot of extra stuff that I like to do, but doesn't necessarily do well on the channel. So I've not done a lot of it on the channel. So yeah, so I thought that it'd be good to, where that come from, it'd be good to do that sort of stuff over there. And yeah, so we've got a few people that have joined us over there, and so I've got a lot of prep to do for that each month as well. We've got it's a lot of fun. Like I'm actually enjoying doing the extra content and all that sort of stuff, but as I said, it was a lot of prep work. I struggled in September to keep up with everything because I had Mia here, and it's amazing. Like, I was thinking about it the other day, as much as I miss her and love her and would do anything for her and take her back in a heartbeat, it is amazing how much one little person, how much time and extra stress it actually puts on you when you weren't prepared for it. Does that make any sense? Because, I mean, I had finished having babies and little people around the house and all that sort of stuff, but it's amazing how much time, just the questions of when can we go out, when can we do this, when can we do that, and having to fit all my work around it. And to be honest, I'm trying to think back, I don't even know how I managed to keep my channel going and doing all the things that I was doing, because yeah. The time management was not happening for me in the month of September. I did try, and I also had internet problems at the beginning of September as well. I actually did not have internet for close on 2 weeks. I had like prepaid internet, but man, that cost a bomb. Like, I got it through Optus because that was the only one that was available, because they were servicing the area for mobile internet, and the 5G network and the 4G network was being upgraded and maintained. And so we were only supposed to be not having internet for and mobile phone service for, I think it was, the original one was like 8 days, 9 days. So anyway, we didn't have that, and then we got notification that we weren't going to have it for up to 17 days because there was a problem of some sort. They didn't really go into detail or anything like that. So yeah, so it was quite difficult because unbeknownst to me, I do everything on the internet. You know, you don't even think about that sort of stuff. But anyway, yeah, so it was quite difficult. But Brendan and I came up with a solution, and that was, we got a prepaid, he had a spare modem from Telstra, because his one was playing up, so he got another one, and the original one he had is still working fine and all that sort of stuff. And it must have just been a glitch on that particular day. It went for a couple of days. And funny enough, it was after they did maintenance in the Nanango area. So I think it was more that than it was the device. But anyway, we had a spare box here to put a SIM in, because he has mobile service over there for his internet and whatnot. So we used that. And he was over in the Sunshine Coast and got me a SIM from Optus. But the internet can chew up, especially when our house uses with streaming and all that sort of stuff. I didn't realise until I looked at my bills. Like, my bills come in, I know I've got to pay them. I just pay them and be done with it. And, you know, I don't sit there and analyse it and do this and do that. And, how can I cut here? How can I cut there? Because it is what it is. I do YouTube. I have to be on the internet for that. I have streaming services because, let's face it, there's nothing on free-to-air TV. There is sometimes, but most times there's not. And I've got so used to not having free-to-air TV that I didn't even really think about it. And so, yeah, that cost me a bomb. Let's just put it that way. That 2 weeks that I did not have internet cost me an absolute fortune going through Optus because I didn't realize how much we were using. Funny enough, the streaming, I did some live streaming over on my BookTube for that time because I didn't know at that point I wasn't live streaming to both channels, and yeah, so basically that didn't really use that much, even though I was on for a few hours. It's because that's an upload, it's the downloading that costs the most. So when you're streaming and all the rest of it, you're constantly downloading, right? So, yeah, that was what was costing the most. So I had that, and so I was very limited on what I could do, and so I just called it and said, look, you know what, I'm not going to stress myself about, because it was taking forever for videos to upload. Like, I could film them and I could edit them and all that sort of stuff, but it was taking like hours. It was like when back in 2018 when I had ADSL, it would take sometimes 12 hours for a video to upload. And anyway, what I'm getting to, and the reason that I ended up with no internet is because about 2 years ago, my Telstra box started clicking, right? And then I started getting these wads of paper, like I'm talking like 125 pages for a phone bill, right? And yeah, so anyway, I rang them years ago and told them that there was a problem with my NBN when we switched over to NBN. They then proceeded to tell me that there was nothing wrong. And I'm like, I'm telling you, it's clicking. This is not normal. It wasn't doing this yesterday. It's now doing it. It was a couple of days after it started when I rang. And then, so that they just, you can't argue with them because it's Telstra. Anyway, when they done the upgrade, I had no internet at home because we had 5G backup and they were doing 5G maintenance or upgrade, and they were doing 4G maintenance. So basically, they've been telling me for ages that my internet was fine. It was working because, for all intents and purposes, it was working because I had the backup. But when that went down, that highlighted the fact that I did not have NBN. So I had backup, but I didn't have NBN. And so I got this lovely girl in Townsville that I rang, and I was like, by the time I got through to this woman, after like trying to deal with phones and all that sort of stuff, and at the same time, they cut my phone off. My restricted my service for my mobile service, not because I hadn't paid the bill or anything, because I was $320 in credit. They disconnected me, and no one could tell me why. And anyway, that was fine. I'm like, okay, right, all right. Well, I know how to fix that problem. I'm just going to go to prepaid, and yeah, I'm not going to deal with you anymore having these monthly bills and all the rest of it. So the $318 that I was in credit was refunded to me after I spoke to God knows how many people. And then I used that money and I got a prepaid for 12 months. So I got 220 gig of data because I hardly use any data on my phone, and unlimited phone calls and texts through Telstra. And I only have to pay that once a year. And I got it just around my birthday. And so that was that done. And yeah, so then I rang this woman, and I ended up ringing back, and it was like the fourth time I'd rung back. And by the time I'd rung back, I was almost done. Like I was beaten down. I was feeling sad and sorry for myself and all this sort of stuff. And I just said, look, I can deal with not having the internet because I don't actually care that much. Like, it's annoying and all the rest of it, and if I can't ever upload videos again, I can deal with that. If that's what you're telling me, that I'm never going to have internet again, that's okay. I said, but someone needs to come here and explain that to my 17-year-old, because she's having an atomic meltdown and I just need my internet fixed because it was just ridiculous. Anyway, Naomi came through the fans, and she was absolutely fabulous. She had someone out here, because I'm also like on business with Telstra as well, so I get priority. And I'm sorry to whoever got bumped down the list because of my internet woes, but I get priority, so I get hardware before everybody else. I get technicians come and see me before everybody else, and all that sort of stuff. So that was all fine and dandy, and yeah, and I'm like, I did not believe for one moment that she was going to have someone out here. And anyway, she promised that she'd ring me back on the Wednesday, but I rang her on the Saturday. No, I rang her on the Sunday. Yes, I rang her on the Sunday, and yeah, she had someone out here on Tuesday. So that was great. And then they even turned up 2 hours earlier. Like, I was like, you beauty. And then he was here and all the rest of it. Anyway, I found out what the problem was. And I've updated a few people on BookTube and all that sort of stuff, but I haven't updated anybody here. Basically what happened was, when they put the MBN in, they didn't turn, they left the ADSL stuff there, which was, you know, pretty standard issue for at that time. That was sort of the protocol. But whoever did it, they didn't cap it off, and the ADSL was still connected. So what was happening, the ADSL and the NBN were competing against each other, and eventually the ADSL had one out. And so basically that's why I had no NBN. And even though I had, like, they didn't, because I've had internet access via the backup, I couldn't claim anything because I still had internet and it was still working, although it was a lot slower, and I didn't realize how slow it was until the NBN was working. And the poor guy that came here, he was like, he goes, I cannot believe that this is, because he's seen, like, he could see the work orders and stuff like that, and he said to me, he goes, I can see where you've rung up and you've had people come out here to check it, even because I did have people come out and check it and they told me it was fine. He said, I can see that, and they have not done their job. So a whole report. Hopefully the next person that experiences this doesn't have to go through what I went through, and they can get, you know, a solution done straight away. But yeah, they ended up fixing it. They fixed it straight away. They've replaced all my hardware here as well. And they said, as part of the compensation, because there was nothing wrong with the hardware as such, but they replaced it anyway to make sure. And they disconnected the AC. Goes, you are definitely disconnected from ADSL now. and I had videos ready to upload and all that sort of stuff, because I was still able to edit, because as long as I left the software open, I could edit, and I had a little, I just couldn't export it. So I said to him, you stay right there, you're not going anywhere. And he goes, yep, cool, no worries. He goes, what do you got to do? I said, I'm going to be uploading a video. I said, because this one video took nearly, I think it was like 18 hours to upload. And so I said, you're not going anywhere. I had a 15-minute video there that I exported. It exported in like 2 minutes, which that took nearly an hour to do one on the Optus while we had no internet. And normally would take around 15 minutes to export when I had the 5G backup. So anyway, and if anybody's been watching my streams over on the BookTube, you know that sometimes they go blurry because it kept swinging between cable and the Wi-Fi and all the rest of it. And as soon as it clicks over to the Wi-Fi through StreamYards, it goes really blurry. And so, yeah, so I said to him, don't go anywhere. And I exported it. It exported in 2 minutes. I said, you still can't go anywhere because I'm going to start uploading. And I swear to you, like, it went up in under 4 minutes. It was just under 4 minutes. And then I'm like, it's up. And he's like, that's pretty quick. And I'm like, that is very quick. I said, because I've had videos that a 15-minute video that's taken nearly 2 hours to upload when the internet was working, like with the 5G backup. So I have been very happy, very, very happy in the last couple of weeks, because I have been able to film and edit, and upload and get things scheduled and all the rest of it, and it doesn't feel like I'm sitting in front of the computer for hours and hours and having to come back and make sure that it's uploaded and all this sort of stuff. 9 times out of 10, the videos that go up, I can do the thumbnail and it's processing. So yeah, I am very pleased with the service, and I don't think I will ever, or anybody has ever said this. I was actually pleased with the outcome and the service that I received from Naomi, and I didn't catch his name. He didn't give me his name, which was fine, but I was very, very pleased with both their services and the fact that they told me exactly what the problem was, and that they were able to fix it for me immediately. In the scheme of things, the moment I got through to someone that knew what they were doing and knew their job, it was immediately fixed, because I rang on a Sunday and they were here on Tuesday morning. So that in Telstra scheme of things, that is immediately. So I was super chuffed with the fact that they were able to do that for me. So needless to say, the 2 weeks that Mia was here, I didn't get a lot more done. I got a little bit of filming done and I got a couple of uploads up, but in the scheme of things, I didn't get the things that I normally would get done while she was here. And yeah, so that made it a little bit difficult. But last week she went back on the 1st because it was a public holiday. So she went back on the Sunday, and then that way she had the Monday with her mum because her mum went away for work. And yeah, I come home and basically I walked in the door. I was absolutely exhausted because that little person, man, she an energy vampire. That little person wore me out, and so that was fine. So I came home and I got home, I think it was about 3:30, 4 o'clock. I walked in the door. I said, hey to Darvanalee. She goes, what's going on? I said, I'm going to bed. And I went to bed. I slept for a couple of hours. I got up. I did some prep work. I went back to bed. And sorry, I'm just counting. And I ended up sleeping right through to the next morning. The Monday morning I had a live stream, and during that live stream I was just doing some plotting around and all the rest of it. But prior to that, I had started to organise everything. So I worked out what I was going to be working on for DDs Spooktober and all of that sort of stuff. And here we are, stitching with you, having a chit chat first thing in the morning. And yeah, it's actually really good. So I feel great that I'm back to it. I've done a lot of planning. I've also worked out what I'm doing next year on the channel as well. Some of the things I want to bring to the channel, some of the things I'm doing in Patreon, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, just things I want to continue on with, and exciting stuff happening next year as well for me. Some first happening, which I'll discuss closer to the date. I'm just doing some counting, so just bear with me for a moment. And yeah, so basically everything is good in internet world. So I'm really, really happy with the fact that I am able to upload, and it's not a hardship now. So it doesn't take forever to upload things and all that sort of stuff. I've been doing a lot of designing and all that sort of stuff. Oh, and speaking of which I don't think I talked about it. Did I talk about it in my diamond painting with me? I know I might have mentioned it yesterday on the live stream, but the Haslloween magazine for Down the Rabbit Hole magazine has come out. That has dropped. We have lots of lovely little charts in there. And if you want to get that, you can now head over to our Patreon, and you can get your copy there. You don't actually have to join the Patreon if you don't want to. But my advice is, if you are interested in the magazine, I would join the, excuse me, I would join the $8.50 tier, excuse me, which is $5 US, and it's $8.50 for here in Australia. The good thing about Patreon, it's $5 US, and that's what it's listed at. for the bronze tier, but wherever you are in the world, it will automatically currency convert for you. So if you're in Australia, it'll show up as $8.50. If you are in the UK, it'll show up whatever it is in pounds. If you're in New Zealand, it'll show up at whatever it is in New Zealand. And no matter where you are, it will show it in your local currency. So I really like that aspect of transparency through Patreon. So yeah, all the details for the Patreon is down below. You can go and have a look and check it all out. And I want to make sure that I get crescent moons and not full moons. So I'm just doing some more counting here. Yeah, so just you can go and check that out and see what we have on offer over there. We've got some plans for the channel as well. There'll be still content coming to here. I'm in sort of planning mode now for 2024. We still have a few things happening here on the channel. We've got DDs Spooktober, which is happening right now. We also have Vlogmas coming up as well, so there'll be some of that happening as well. And I'm just going to cross that out because I'm going to end up stitching that twice otherwise. Yeah, so we'll have that coming up as well, and obviously there'll be a few videos happening in November, and then I will take a couple of weeks over the Christmas period where I will just take a break basically, because Vlogmas is always pretty hectic, and so yeah, so I'll take a break over that time. You know, I'll probably have a couple of videos in the scheduling that'll go up, but as far as live streaming and stuff like that, I'm not too sure what will happen with that, whether I will continue over the Christmas break. I've got a few projects that I am working on in the background that I'm just sort of going to vlog what I'm doing. I will probably end up sharing that with my Patreons first, and then it'll come over to here. They'll get early access for that. Yeah, so it's all happening. It is all happening, which I'm pretty happy about. Like, I don't even think I can express how happy I am that I actually have internet that works. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. My plan is to, with this for DDs Spooktober, is to work on this for half an hour, or for my morning coffee each day. Just depends how busy I'm going to be in the day, like how much filming I have and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, my plan is just to get up in the mornings, make my cuppa, come out here, put some stitches in, and hopefully by the end of the month we'll have a witch already done, and I'll probably get some more stitches into the cauldron as well, just see what mood takes me. But I felt like stitching the witch today, so that's where we're at. And we've got our first crescent moon. Just making sure that I'm doing the right thing, because we all know that Nicole cannot count. So yeah, but yeah, I think like just doing half an hour, 45 minutes will probably just get me back into the swing of things. And you know, like I can get a fair bit of stitching done in half an hour, and you never know, I might ended up getting my stitchy mojo back. And you know, there's been a lot of stuff going on in the background that I just, yeah, I haven't been really talking about or anything like that. A little bit of, you know, seasonal depression, I think it was. I don't know. No, well, actually it wasn't. It was something else that set me into a bit of a tailspin. But anyway, it doesn't matter what that is. But I think for the meantime, I'm feeling okay. I'm doing okay. And I plan on staying true to course and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully this will bring back my stitchy mojo, and you will see more from me in the near future. And yeah, but while we're here, just leave me a comment down below. You know, what do you want to, is there anything that you want to see on the channel? Now, bear in mind, I really can't start a new hobby. Okay, I have a lot of things that I already do, but you know, within the theme of the channel, let me know down below what you would like to see. You know, I would like some of your inspiration. You know, become my muse. Give me some information to help me make it better for you, this channel. Okay, because at the end of the day, it's not about me. it's about you and what you want to watch. So I would really appreciate if you could give me some feedback and let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see on the channel. It would greatly help me out. I'm also going to put up a community post in the next day or so for people to give me their suggestions. And, you know, obviously there are going to be some things that are just going to be, I will have to learn them, so they're not going to happen straight away. I would, you know, if it's in sewing and stuff like that, I don't generally sew clothes, but I have been thinking about it lately because little Em is a skinny little mini, but she's very tall. So her size and her waist is a size child's 4. That's how skinny she is, like tiny, tiny little waist. But I reckon she would be an 8 to a 10 in height. That gives you some perspective. Here in Australia, probably under the, I don't know what the sizings are in the US, but that's, you know, in a kid's 8 to 10. So she's tall, like she's up to my shoulders. Yeah, she's just up to my shoulders, I think, and I'm 5'4". So yeah, Neralee's feeling very small around Mia. But so I've been thinking about it, and like Dharma Jane has even said to me, you know, like I struggled to find her clothes. So while she was here, she was wearing a couple of dresses, and she likes the bib and brace style dresses. So I'm going to see if I can't make her some of those. And I thought at Christmas time what we could do is together go down to Spotlight and see what sort of fabric she likes and make her part of the process, and maybe then she might wear them. So I'm going to make her some leggings. I've got a pattern there for leggings for her, so I've already got that. And I mean, it's going to be a learning curve for me, but I'll probably just vlog it and talk about my experience and stuff, so you'll get to see it. But just bear in mind that when you do put suggestions, realize that clothing is not my thing. Home decor or a quilting, anything like that, I'm happy to do. There are some things that I will have to learn. Are there any gadgets you would like me to try or anything like that? Because as you know, I have the Patreon, and part of that, the income from that goes back into the channel. So about 50% of that goes back into the channel, and sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes it's a little bit less, but on a whole, about that amount goes back into the channel, and then the rest helps support my family. So yeah, so if you've got any suggestions, please leave them down below so I can get into that. All right, I'm going to load up my I'm just going to finish this row, and yeah, and then we'll call it a day for today, and then you can all get on with your day and I can get on with what I need to do. But I will be as I said, I will be stitching on this on a daily basis. I don't know whether I'll be filming every day that I stitch on it, but you will definitely see it a couple of times, maybe more than a couple of times throughout the month, so you will get to see the progress. I do have a diamond painting whip parade coming up shortly, every Friday on the channel, and Thursday night if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. We have a Diamonds and Books live stream, and I have a diamond painter booktuber join me, and her name is Neva, and you can find her reading with Neva whenever, sorry. And I will link up her channel underneath that video, the live stream, and also underneath this video, and you can go and check her out. She just put up her first whip and chat. So if you're interested in diamond painting and learning a little bit more about the person behind the diamond painting, yeah, you can go and check that out. She also has memberships and all that sort of stuff as well, so you can go and check that out. And we had a lot of fun. Like yesterday, we streamed for 10 hours. We were just chit-chatting, and the commenters were driving the conversation, asking questions. You know, they asked craft questions, they asked book questions, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, so if that's something that you'd be interested in, make sure that you tune in. I stream twice a week with that sprint style to the channel, both channels. So yeah, and I do a little bit of diamond painting sometimes. On a Monday on Fridays I definitely do diamond painting. On Mondays I generally do like sewing or something like that when in the productivity part of the sprint. So yeah, so you'll be able to see what I get up to. I'm generally making bags and all that sort of stuff, and just general chit-chatting and whatnot. But I do go quiet. Like, for those that don't know what it is, I do go quiet for about 45 minutes, and that's where I can hyper focus and all that, and get all that sort of stuff done. I'm thinking that also once I've got all these bags made, because I've got to get about 50 bags made for the silly season, and for a retreat that I'm going to. So once I get all these bags made, I'll probably bust out some whips and start getting them done. And yeah, so you'll get to see the progress of those. So basically I will just work on the projects, and then I'll show you what I got done in that 45 minutes. And yeah, so if you're looking and you're struggling to get stuff done, bust out those whips, come and join us. You don't have to participate in the comments or anything like that. It's just we'll keep you company. We'll chit chat and all that sort of stuff. Other people will be asking questions, and it is a combination of books and craft. And so yeah, you can come and get some stuff done. You might even get some book recommendations as well. You know, we'll tell you about audiobooks, we'll tell you about Kindle books, we'll tell you about Kindle Unlimited books, we'll tell you about smutty books, Victorian books, lots of books and all the rest of it. So as you most of you probably already know, I'm quite an eclectic reader, so you'll be able to you will get book recommendations. And I know that there's a couple people that watch my channel have been getting book recommendations, and I haven't steered them wrong yet. So I give honest reviews whether I like the book or not. Well, I don't tend to go into the writing style or stuff like that, but I do give honest reviews, and you know, whether I like the book, whether it's good or not, and whatnot. All right, so the next color, once I've done a little bit more outline, the next color I'm going to be using will be this color here. It is also the color that's in the cauldron here. I've got another color that's got to go in to that. So next time you see this, a lot more will be done. As I said, this weekend I've got to catch up for the first week. I have to do a total of 4 hours, and that will get me to Monday. So we've already done half an hour of that 4 hours, so not much more to go. I'm just going to periodically do a bit here and do a bit there, and get it done and dusted. So yeah, I hope that everybody has a fabulous weekend, and don't forget, go over, check out our Patreon and see what we've got on offer. If you don't want to join the Patreon and you just want the magazine, we do have a shop front over there now, which has all the issues of the magazine and even our back issues as well. And it's just as simple as clicking on that, adding it to your cart, and you can purchase it. We don't have any bundle packs over there. It is just the individual files, because the bundle packs are too big and all that sort of stuff. So make sure that you head on over and check that out, get your latest magazine. And we also, at the end of this month, on the 1st of November, we have the Christmas edition coming out, and then a month after that we have the summer edition coming out. So it is a busy time here in the studio. But as always, leave me a comment down below. I really would appreciate your suggestions. Enjoy your morning coffee. Hope you get lots of crafting in this weekend. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.